It's the MasterChef Finals. Over the next 4 episodes, cooking will be taken to a whole new level.
Fire going on here. Your pans are burning.
Loving that.
The pressure is immense in finals week. You can't drop the ball at all.
I don't think there's any way of preparing you for the intensity of the competition.
I've got to stay here. I can't go anywhere.
I've basically enjoyed everything that I've done here. It's been one of the most life-affirming things that I've done.
I never in my heart of hearts thought that I would get this far. I'm pinching myself.
One of these amateurs will become MasterChef Champion 2015. To mark the 50th anniversary of the death of Winston Churchill, the contestants will create a dinner in honour of the man regarded as one of the greatest wartime leaders of the 20th century.
What General Weygand has called the Battle of France is over. The Battle of Britain is about to begin. Upon this battle depends the survival of Christian civilization.
Welcome to Finals Week and welcome to Churchill College, part of Cambridge University. Tonight, there's a special dinner celebrating the great man's life.
You will be guided by one of this country's greatest chefs, a holder of 2 Michelin stars. And he's designed a 5-course tasting menu. Do us proud. Off you go. Good luck.
Michael Keynes is one of only a handful of British chefs to have held 2 Michelin stars for over 15 years. His classically influenced but modern approach has made him a cornerstone of British food.
I don't want the guests today to have something which is less than perfect. And I want to see their skills come to the fore and represent my dishes as I would want to serve them. Guys, congratulations for getting this far. Busy day in front of you. So we've got some great guests and a lot of cooking to be done, not a lot of time. So let's see what we're going to be cooking, okay? Come on.
I can't think of a better opportunity than cook alongside a 2 Michelin-star chef.
It's really exciting, you know, to be able to learn. I'd really like to take something away from today.
I think it's going to be a testing menu. They're going to be challenged. They're going to certainly need to make use of all of the time they've got. Hey, Tony, welcome. This is Alistair, my head chef at Gidley Park. So you've got the first course, which is the crab tortellini with a lemongrass and ginger bisque.
The dish consists of 3 individual crab-filled tortellini.
You know, technique here is the pasta's not too thick. You see it's nice and thin. It's cooked, still what we call a little al dente.
They will sit in a langoustine, lemongrass and ginger bisque.
With all great pasta dishes, the sauce will carry a lot of the flavour.
And be served with ginger batons, pink grapefruit segments, and topped with coriander oil and micro herbs.
It shows a lot of skill, you know. It's a nice way to start what will be a 5-course meal. Simply done and done well. It's as good a dish as ever.
Absolutely. No, it's beautiful. The balance of all the different flavours and you can taste them all. It's stunning.
Good.
That's an absolutely stunning dish. There's so many elements in there, which I'm quite concerned about. But I'm really excited about it, being able to just get stuck in now and hopefully do Chef proud.
Tony's first task is to get the vegetables on for the langoustine bisque.
I've never cooked anything like this before, not this quality, this standard. So this is just, yeah, it's a real learning experience. It's great.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
You've got quite a tricky dish. It's the tartlet of quail eggs with quail and a little onion confit.
The dish is a quail breast cooked in a water bath and pan-roasted before being sliced at the last minute and served on an onion confit with roasted shallots and glazed baby vegetables. This will be served alongside a puff pastry tartlet topped with onion confit, quail's eggs and black truffle discs and drizzled with a quail jus.
Things that matter, critical time. If you overcook those eggs by putting them under the salamander too long.
So just a couple of minutes,
Absolutely.
Really. Yeah.
So it's all about timing. Happy? Good luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you. This is very delicate cooking. I'm not a delicate cook. I am a little bit scared, but you know what? I'm under the guise of a great master, so I will do my very best.
Before Emma starts on anything else, she needs to carefully prep the quail, removing the winglets and the wishbone.
I'm working through my list. Each stage takes quite a long time.
She then stuffs them with thyme, garlic and butter, ready for poaching in a water bath.
I just want to make sure everything is ready, basically. I'll feel more prepared if everything's prepared.
Simon, welcome.
Thank you.
You've got the main course. There's quite a lot going on. Yeah. I think the first thing to remember is that you know, it's all about getting everything ready. The braised cheeks are the most important thing.
The dish's main element is a cube of slow-cooked braised beef cheek, served with celeriac puree and spinach. These are accompanied by sliced beef fillet on a shallot confit and plated with diced celeriac, roasted shallots, mushrooms, tarragon crisps and tarragon oil, and finished with a complex red wine sauce.
It's amazing. It's if I can get it as good as that tasting and looking, then I'll be really pleased.
Good luck.
Thank you. It's genius. It's really good. It's a lot of work.
Simon gets underway prepping the beef cheeks.
The main concern for this dish is timing. There's quite a lot to get on with. They need to be right on it from the word go.
Oops, sorry. Where do I get a brush?
He then braises them, ready to go in the pressure cooker.
It's a big occasion and your main course is the main event, isn't it? It's the star of the show, if you like. And you've got to get that right. You've got to look after it.
Paul's on the first dessert. Apple served 4 ways. A layer of apple mousse set with Italian meringue, a green apple jelly, a quenelle of apple sorbet covered with a vanilla-infused foam, topped with sprinkles of vanilla powder and apple crystalline discs.
Presentation is simple. It's designed to be a nice pre-dessert, but at the same time, to get that and get it right, it's going to take a lot of work.
Huge amount of work. Huge pile of apples.
Let's get on with it. See you later.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Paul's priority is to prep the apples, which he needs to juice for both the sorbet and the jelly.
I've got to do those really, really quickly. That's the key. If they don't have time to set, I don't have a dessert.
OK, Pete, you've got the final 5th course, the dessert.
This dessert is made up of a raspberry mousse topped with raspberry jelly, macaroons filled with raspberry ganache, meringues, and a pistachio puree, topped with popping candy, and finished with a raspberry sorbet.
Stuff I've never done before.
Maybe that's why you've been chosen for this
I think it is, yeah. I think it is.
Stick to the recipe, should be fine.
It's a dessert of 2 Michelin star quality, so I'm just a home cook. It's a tough one. I've got to be bang on with it.
Pete begins by making a sugar syrup for the Italian meringue.
What's happening here
Yeah.
is the caramel, the sugar's burning. So
Right.
did it not have any water in the recipe?
Yeah, I put 15 ml of water in.
So what you got to do is put the water in and then dissolve it as best you can. Then come over here and stay with it.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
advice to you, chef, is to start again.
Yeah.
Let's start
Yeah.
again and I'll come and have a look at it. Something not right there.
Started off wrong, try and resolve it and come back stronger, I suppose.
The host of tonight's dinner is a man who knows more about Churchill than most. Alan Packwood has spent 20 years working in the Archives Centre, which was built in 1973 to house Churchill's letters, wartime speeches, and Nobel Prize-winning literature.
The archive covers the whole range of Churchill's activities and this amazing long life and long political career. But it also documents his lifelong association with food and drink. Right from the very beginning, we have one of his earliest school reports where the headmaster criticises him for being greedy at meals. But what you will see if you come here is Churchill using dinners as a way of reinforcing his political career. We have the most fantastic photograph albums recording those great wartime conferences with Roosevelt and with Stalin, where they sat down over dinner and literally decided the fate of the post-war world.
Dinner is now 3 hours away. Simon's beef cheeks are braising, and he now has to portion the beef fillet.
600 is 4, 750 is 5. Just to make sure that each piece of beef is 150 grams each, pre-cooked. Once I've got this bit done, I can concentrate on my next sauce. It's what holds the dish together. If I get that right, then I'm all right.
On the starter, Tony is still making his langoustine and lemongrass bisque.
Now, Tony, look. Did you sweat that enough? You know, if this is a bit raw, it's only got 20 minutes cooking time, yeah?
Right.
Nice slow sweat. So
It needs to go a bit longer.
Well, I mean, the point of the recipe was not to rush something, so it says for 5 minutes.
5 minutes on the...
I want 5 minutes. Did you time it?
No, not exactly.
5 minutes is 5 minutes.
Yes, chef.
Emma's also at a critical time with her jus.
Now, look, this is up to the boil now. This is the key point.
So now I've got to...
So come here, let's turn it down to a simmer and get yourself a ladle. Now, you need to get the scum off, but not the fat.
Yep.
Skim it while it's boiling, because you know that... And just take the scum off. A nice little technique, right, is lay the ladle flat.
Yep.
And because you get better surface area. See that?
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And always take from the middle.
Thank you.
And then take that down to a simmer.
It's absolutely incredible to get tips off Michael Caine's, you know, someone with 2 Michelin stars. I mean, when in my lifetime is that going to happen? So, yeah, it's incredible.
You don't just get tips, you get bollockings.
Yeah, I
so
know,
let's get that down.
I'm not under
now,
any...
nice slow simmer. Otherwise, you're going to make it cloudy.
There is a lot going on. There's a huge amount. All I can see right now is apples.
Michael is also keeping a close eye on the pastry section.
What's this for, jelly?
Yes, and that's the reduced cider.
So this is jelly?
This is the first thing that I did, the sorbet.
So stick to one task, get it done, get it frozen. You got stock syrup in there?
No.
Have you made your stock syrup?
No.
I said to him the key thing is to get the sorbet on the go. He's got halfway through it, but then he hasn't got any stock syrup made, so he's got to go and make a stock syrup. Meanwhile, the apple's been blitzed, the green apple now is starting to go brown, so he's wasted some critical time there.
Pete's remade the meringue mixture, but needs to get them in the oven.
Can't really think at the minute, I'm just doing it.
Pete, There's a fan on this.
Oh, you're kidding.
We needed to turn it down. Right, okay, so we won't have time, definitely won't have to, they won't grate anyway. We've learnt our lesson for the next bit, which is your key bit, so. All right. Right, get rid of that.
The fan was on in the oven and it just blew them off, which is it's annoying.
I don't know, it's like being a father to, you know, five very grown-up kids.
Hey, ready for bed.
I want them all to learn a huge amount from this, but at the same time producing something that I'm happy with.
The finalists are 2 hours in, and Simon is well ahead, already wrapping his braised beef cheeks in cool fat so they can be pan-fried at the last minute.
I'm not far away. Another 10 minutes and I'll feel a little bit more confident.
Simon's got a big task, quite a lot of component parts. He's got the critical bits on, the sauce, the braise, the beef is in cooking. The key elements that take time, he's got done.
Simon?
Hi, Greg.
Step up, innit?
Yeah, it certainly is. I've never had Michelin star food before, so that's the first for me. And you know, now I know the level that I need to be at and that I need to produce today. You've got to pull out all the stops and perform. It's got to be tip-top.
You've got a look of determination in your face, mate.
Thank you.
Go on, son, knock them dead.
I'm trying.
On the starter, Tony's running a bit behind
I don't think I've been late yet, and I don't intend on being late today.
and is only just rolling his pasta.
I'm going to work my socks off to make it happen.
And there are more timing issues in the dessert section. Paul's forgotten to put his apple jelly in the fridge.
I thought we were going into the fridge.
Where is it?
In here.
That is it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Close up, right?
All right, OK.
Oh.
Get a plate, put
Yeah.
a little bit on the plate, put it in the fridge, and if it sets, if it doesn't,
Right.
we need to start thinking about making one.
I thought the jelly was in the fridge. But here it sits.
I'm just going to do these macaroons again. They're not looking too neat, so I'm just going to quickly redo them. Needs to be done and go in so they can have time to cook. So yeah, this is sort of the main priority at the minute.
You all right, son?
It's 2 Michelin stars. We're a bunch of home cooks.
Do you want some tough love from me?
Go on then.
This is what MasterChef champions are made of.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and it's hard bloody work.
The dessert section, both of them seem to be in the same position. And that is a mess. Pete's really struggling with meringues, he's struggling with macarons. It's way outside his comfort zone.
A little bit uneven, but hopefully they taste nice.
Paul was really calm, really focused, and now he's realising the enormity of the task.
There's nowhere to hide with this dessert.
He's suddenly realising how difficult this is. There's a lot to do. The boys on dessert are lucky they've got a bit of time to pull it back.
Tonight's guests have arrived.
Hi.
They all have a strong connection to Winston Churchill.
Yes, thank you.
Celia Sands is one of Churchill's 10 grandchildren.
I think my grandfather was his happiest if he could look around the dining room table and see family, because he'd had rather a bleak childhood himself.
Churchill's great-grandson, Randolph Churchill. Sita Stelzer, the renowned Churchill academic.
Britain had been in the war essentially alone with the Commonwealth countries. And here was America suddenly deciding where to go to war. And Churchill moved into the White House for 3 weeks.
Professor of International History at Christ's College, Cambridge, David Reynolds. And the evening's host, Alan Packwood.
here in Churchill College, the traditional toast used at college feasts is always Sir Winston. Sir Winston.
Sir Winston. Grandpapa.
The guests have arrived and the pace in the kitchen has got just that little bit more frantic.
You know, it's nearly here now, and you feel yourself mentally and physically preparing to really push yourself to get out the very best thing that you can.
Tony is still running late, but he's now ready to start filling his tortellini.
This is the most critical part of all your day. So you've got to make 18. Better you take your time and do it right, and then you don't have to do it again the second time.
Yes, chef.
I'd rather you do it once. That's good. That's it. That's perfect. Keep it going. That's good. Pinch it together.
Lovely, thank you.
Keep an eye on you.
I've got to get my head down and get these tortellini made. If I can get those done in the next 12 minutes, then we'll be all right.
Tony's looking a little bit behind. He's still making tortellini. It just seems to me that he could probably just move a little bit faster.
While Pete adds the jelly to set on top of the raspberry mousse, Michael's main concern is still Paul's jelly.
Is it jelly?
I need to check. I've done 2 tests, one in the dish and one on a plate. So that one is not quite right, and those ones are not either.
With the jelly not setting, Paul decides to make another batch. There are now just minutes till service.
How long? How many more you got to do? Huh?
I've done 15. I want to do 3 spare, chef.
We ain't got much time, so let's go.
Yep.
Oh, done. Well, until it's set.
Right, drop them now, quickly.
All of them, chef?
Well, how many? If you do half of them, you're only going to be serving half of them. So now's a good time to cook them all.
Right, it's 6 o'clock, the guests are sitting down. Where's our first course?
Now off you go, I'll give you a hand.
This crab tortellini sounds fabulous. It's such an unusual combination of ginger, lemongrass, and crab. So I'm looking forward to that one.
People out there waiting, this is when it matters. Okay, lovely. That's it, go on.
Service, please. Thank you very much, chef. I appreciate that. Thank you for all your help. So yeah, that was a lot harder than I expected it to be. I'm chuffed to bits, and I'm really proud of myself for what I've done.
Oh, wow, isn't that great?
Little buckets. That's beautiful.
Delicious.
The presentation on this is absolutely beautiful. I don't really want to cut into it.
Deliciousness.
Very good, isn't it?
Presentation. It would have reminded Winston of his holidays in the south of France. I think this would have provided him with a great joy. Beautifully done, absolutely delicious. Definitely gets my vote.
You've bitten into the crab, you've tasted the pasta, and then what stays is the lemon and the gingery thing. That, I think, is really nice, very clever.
Well, it's definitely not the beginning of the end, but I think it is the end of the beginning, and I can't think of a better beginning for this Churchill meal.
It's been a really good experience. I've learned a lot. Michael's really taught me to take my time, to make sure I understand what I'm doing before I get started, and to look at the finer detail.
Back in the kitchen, Emma's slicing her quails ready for service.
Okay, off you go. That's it. Now do it nicely. Now, quail eggs. That's it. That's lovely there.
Well, a tartlet of quail eggs onion confit, black truffles, smoked bacon, and quail and light quail juice. Churchill loved eggs. He loved that mixture of truffles and things like that.
Okay, nicely cooked. Well done.
So I think this is a very Churchillian dish and one he would definitely approve of.
Go, girl. How pretty is that?
That is unbelievable.
Loving that.
Okay, sauce then.
Service.
Beautiful. Well done. Please.
I'm really pleased. Yeah,
there in the end,
I'm
didn't
really,
we?
really pleased. I can't believe I just did that. I really can't.
Ooh, wow.
Oh, wow. It is a work of art as well as a really culinary delight as well.
The richness of the mushrooms with the quail's eggs is just magical.
And the quail just absolutely melts on the mouth. It's beautiful.
And everything is cooked just right. All the vegetables are just exactly the right texture. Perfect.
I think my grandfather would have loved this.
Sitting here beneath one of Churchill's paintings, he would have appreciated the aesthetic effort that had gone into this. I mean, you can see from the paintings here that he liked bold colours and he liked things to make a strong statement.
That was a rush. I feel great. I'm really proud that I got a plate up that looked, you know, worthy.
You're way, way in front with anybody. Everything is looking good.
The beef fillet and cheek is smoked bacon, shallot, horseradish confit with red wine sauce.
Now go. Do your movement. Stop. That's perfect.
Well, this really would have whetted my great-grandfather's appetite.
Go on, keep going.
You're making music on a plate.
Churchill boys have a very good appetite. Where is the beef? He always wanted the beef.
Mate, that is stunning. Simon, you're my new hero.
Keep going, keep going. Over the beef as well. Over the braise.
Service, please. Thank you.
So, well done.
Thank you.
You had everything ready. It was all there. So, I mean, that was very, very good. Very impressive, to be honest. You cracked on with it. You got it ready. It's great. Well done.
Thank you.
Psst, psst, Simon. Brilliant job, son.
Thank you. It's been great. Really good.
Yeah, good.
Oh, wow. Isn't that pretty?
Oh, gosh. I'm going to start with the beef. Not overdone, clearly, which is what he would have approved of.
No, it's perfectly cooked.
The cheek is absolutely wonderful. I mean, it feels as though it's been cooked for hours and it's just falling apart. It's so good.
The celeriac really added to the plate.
You have things like the shallots, the horseradish that are really sharp. It goes together very well, I think.
And nothing is overcooked. Perfect.
I think this is the best, no doubt.
To work under a two-star chef is such a big deal. Pressured, yeah. Tiring, yeah. But you know, it's the nature of what I want to do, and I've done it today, and I've really enjoyed it, and it's something I remember for forever.
With the triumphant main courses over, Michael now focuses on the desserts, starting with Paul's sorbet.
What's going on with this? Why is this looking like this? Oh, my Lord. There's no sugar in it. No sugar in there, Chef.
Oh, I thought we put sugar in.
And it's also the moment of truth for his jelly.
So obviously, Paul, they're not set. But if we don't move now, the whole dessert is going to melt. There's no sugar in there. It's not right, is it? I wonder whether or not we've got a problem with the scales or something. I don't know.
Apple mousse topped with green apple jelly, green apple sorbet with a vanilla foam. People say, what did I inherit from my grandfather? I think a love of ice cream.
OK, service, please. All right, Paul. We had a little bit of mix-up, didn't we?
Sorry about that.
OK.
People used to have the sorbet to clean the palate after the meat. So now we've got a half sorbet. We've got part sorbet and part the foam. So it's interesting. It's a concession, but not gone the whole way.
I like this sort of this balance of the sweetness and the tartness of the apple.
Winston, growing apples at Chartwell, would have loved the fact that his humble apple could produce such a satisfying dessert.
Very disappointed. I mean, there were one or two things that just didn't come together. I hope I can bring it back. I'm not sure how I'm quite going to do that at this stage of the competition with so few people left and with so much at stake.
Pete's is the last dessert course to be served.
Obviously, the macaroons aren't great, but the fact you've actually made them is, you know, a good effort, you know? They're not easy thing to do. I don't like the result, but I've got to respect the fact that you didn't give up.
So we're finishing with raspberry mousse, with pistachio cream, raspberry macaroon and raspberry sorbet.
We actually did the meringue, but they flew across the oven, so... You've been behind all day, really. It's quite a lot to do. But somehow you managed to at least get most of it all on a plate.
It's gorgeous.
Oh. It's got so much detail in it. It's amazing.
Very good.
Mousse is absolutely fantastic. It's got a sort of slightly nutty taste to it, which I wasn't expecting.
I think it's perfect.
It's a pièce de résistance. It's a great crowning glory to the dinner. Range of tastes, the sorbet, the raspberry mousse, wonderful.
I'm just enjoying the firework finish provided by the popping candy here.
It was the toughest recipe I've ever cooked. Desserts of that complexity is something I never thought I would, take on. I'm relatively pleased with what I've put out on the plate. I managed to keep a fairly level head and get through it.
I suspect that behind the scenes there has been an incredible amount of blood, sweat, toil and tears, but we haven't had an inkling of that. All I can say is it's a definite V for victory from me.
I had many lunches and dinners with him. If he was here, he would have been in the kitchen with you, trying to see how you'd done it.
Well done. It's been really magnificent.
This is one of the best occasions I've been involved with at MasterChef, a real honour. By and large, it went really, really well. The mains were magnificent. The desserts were a little disappointing.
The key thing is, despite what goes on in the kitchen, the guests had a great time. thought the food they put up at the end of the day was pretty great.
This task is all about learning for our 5, learning from a master. Now what they've learnt, they've got to take back to the studio, and they're going to have to prove to us they're worthy of staying in finals week.
I'm really, really excited about today. I have to come in psyched up and energised. I'm ready for this. I really want to go in there and cook my food now.
The effort to get here is absolutely back-breaking, mentally, physically. So demanding, it takes over your entire life.
The pressure is incredible. I've never felt pressure like this before.
Welcome back. Right now, we want from you a dish inspired by somebody that you admire.
One dish, ladies and gentlemen, 1 hour, 20 minutes. At the end of this, one of you is going home. Let's cook.
I love tests like this because it matters so much. It matters so much because they want to stay in the competition. It matters so much because it's emotional. This is about them digging deep and realising why it is they started cooking in the first place.
At this stage in the competition, you have no idea if your dish is good enough. So if I nail it, I think so. But there's 4 other cooks that could absolutely mess that up.
Tony, tell me the inspiration behind this dish.
I was able to eat in your mate's restaurant, Michel Roux Jr. I ate a meal that made me really think, this is it. It was perfect.
Tell me about the dish.
The dish is going to be venison loin. It's going to be flavoured with juniper berries and black peppercorns. I'm serving it with a celeriac and potato rosti.
This is your attempt and at a slightly changed Michel Roux classic.
Yeah, so I've done a 2 Michelin star chef's recipe in the previous round, and I'm going to do another one now.
Best of luck with this, mate.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I hope I do him proud.
The reason Michel Roux Jr.'s dish worked, it was a haunch of venison. What Tony's got is a loin of venison. Not a huge amount of flavour. It's got venison, pears and honey. Now, that could be a little bit too sweet. He's just got to be really careful he gets that balance absolutely right.
It has crossed my mind that I could go home today. I've just been running through all the different processes in my head, visualising myself doing the dish to make sure that I deliver a great plate of food.
Steak, chips and mushrooms. That's what Paul's making, and if he does it well, I'm going to be really impressed. He's taking the technique to a completely different level. The one thing that has to be absolutely perfect is his pomme soufflé. They should be perfectly crisp on the outside and puffed up and hollow on the inside. They're really hard to get right.
These potatoes are notoriously difficult, so I need to show that I can do that.
Paul, you look like a man under pressure.
I am under pressure. Under pressure because I have a lot to do, and under pressure because I didn't have a great round.
This dish inspired by whom?
There were a couple of guys who were friends of my dad. They've always been there as mentors. First time I remember having a decent steak was around at their house, and I think I was about 9 or 10 years old. And everyone thought that, you know, because it was so huge, I'd never get through it, but it was the most amazing thing I'd ever tasted.
I hope you get that emotion into your food, Paul. I'd like to see it. You've had 25 minutes. Ooh!
What I want them to see is, you know, I've taken a risk here. to do it at this sort of stage in the competition, you know, because I want to stay in.
Well, what are you making?
I'm making an apple tart with like an apple custard. So just sliced apples on the top with tobacco and salted caramel ice cream, Calvados cream, some little caramel glazed apple spheres, and I think that's it. Yeah.
Who has inspired you to make this dish?
It's my granddad, Norman. He was a pastry chef. I mean, I grew up as a kid eating his pastry. It was one of his favourite dishes was his apple pie. So it's my take on his apple pie. It was a big pipe smoker, so that's where the tobacco comes in.
How proud would Grandad have been if he'd have seen you in a MasterChef fight?
Yeah, I'd be incredibly proud if it goes well.
It sounds delicious. I love the idea of it. Buttery, sweet, flaky pastry sitting with an apple custard, all heady and sharp with apples and nutmeg. Wonderful. I just hope for his sake he gets his timings right.
Yeah, just a little bit behind, really.
He's had a lot of issues with timing so far in this competition.
Tart went in late, says the ice cream.
And it may be his downfall.
Hoping it's all going to be all right, but you just have to wait and see.
You have got just half an hour left.
The thought of going home does pop in your mind from time to time. I use that to spur myself on. I'd be absolutely devastated to go.
How good was cooking that beef with Michael Caines?
Fantastic. Best thing I've ever done.
What's the dish?
I'm doing pheasant with beetroot puree, pomegranate glazed balsamic with cabbage and pheasant sauce.
What's the inspiration for this dish?
This dish is inspired by my time spent with Theo Randall. When you watch the way he worked, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to be like. I want to work like that, in somewhere like that.
You're doing well, but the pressure doesn't ease off on MasterChef, does it?
No, not at all. The pressure on me today is phenomenal.
Good luck, mate.
Thank you.
We've got pheasant breast, pheasant leg. The leg has been stuffed with mushrooms. Delicious. I'm a little bit frightened about pomegranate. Very sweet, and balsamic vinegar, very strong, with cabbage and a piece of pheasant.
There's always something to worry about. There's timing. Presentation is key. You can never assume that things are going to run smoothly in there as they have done when you've practiced them at home. I just hope I can do as well as I have done in my own kitchen.
What's the dish today?
I'm doing a Baharat spiced poussin. It's a whole blend of different spices. It's quite smoky. I've run some za'atar through that, some preserved lemons. It's going to have a very, very zingy sauce. I've done some frika, which is an ancient grain. It's one of the oldest grains, actually. And then I'm doing a char-grilled courgette and a chicken skin crisp.
What's the inspiration?
My mum. She did the best roast chicken.
Can you make this dish look as elegant as the last one you did?
Going to do my absolute hardest.
She's got za'atar, she's got baharat, which are wonderful things. But in those two, we have got about 8 or 9 different spices, all packed across the top of a little baby chicken. It's a big, big job. If it works, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be like a magic carpet ride. If it doesn't work, it's going to be like falling face first in a big heap of shag pile.
You have 10 minutes left.
Oh, my days.
I'm really pushed for time. I'm going to have to start hurrying up.
Pete's really running around like mad.
How long's left?
Come on, guys, you've got 5 minutes.
Not a lot of time left.
Ooh, wow.
Fingers crossed.
Come on.
Two minutes. it, stop. Time's up. Time's up.
Tardy didn't set.
Yeah. Pastry looks good though, mate.
It's amazing colour.
Tony's made juniper and pepper crusted venison with celeriac and potato gratin, honey pears, cavolo nero and chestnut puree, served with a juniper berry sauce.
Dish inspired by the food of Michel Roux Jr.
Yes, indeed.
I love that, mate, I really do. Look at the beauty of it. It's wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Very, very good indeed. And the meat is absolutely perfect. The flavours you've got with it are stupendous. There's lovely juice coming from pears. Very, very good indeed. Quality of your sauce is exceptional.
Thank you.
Michel, I think, would be pleased that he instigated a dish like this.
The chestnut puree with that celeriac is a lovely, lovely thing. And the texture of the meat is wonderful. Your sauce is beautiful and glossy. My big issue here is your piece of venison. I like it. I think it's cooked really well. But the strength of everything else around the outside of it means the venison's getting a little bit lost.
Yep. Feel great after that. A little bit of criticism, but, you know, this is John and Greg and this is finals week, so you expect that, and they expect perfection. But all in all, I'm chuffed to bits with what I put out and the feedback I got.
Inspired by old friends, Paul has made a fillet of beef with a bone marrow crust and served it with mushrooms, salsify, carrots and baby turnips, parsley puree, pomme soufflé, and a red wine and port sauce.
Technical dish, pomme soufflé. So what we got here, let's have a look. There's a beauty. That's a good one. And that's what I would like to call...
blistered.
I call a blistered chip. But good on you for doing them.
Beef is beautifully tender. I love the crust on the top. I love that bone marrow, beefy flavour. I just adore it. I think your sauce is very, very well made. It's sweet, shiny. It's got a slight bitterness to it as well. I really like it.
Me? I think it's very clever. I really like it. Good food should transport you somewhere. And what I've got is I get a mouthful of steak and chips with a bit of gravy, and I think to myself, I'm sitting in a good old booze and I'm having a pint of beer. And then I've got a really lovely sauce and a sweet little carrot and a perfectly cooked little turnip with its top on, and suddenly I'm in a posh restaurant. So what it's doing, it's sort of taking me from comfort into sophistication all at the same time, and it's a really clever thing to do.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul.
Well done, mate.
I really needed a good round. And I had one. And it feels so much better because it's a dish that means quite a lot to me.
Inspired by his time with Theo Randall, Simon has made pheasant leg stuffed with mushrooms and pheasant breast on a bed of red cabbage and chestnuts, with celeriac dauphinoise, balsamic pancetta and beetroot, yellow beetroot puree, and a pheasant sauce.
Great looking plate of food.
Thank you.
I hope it tastes as good as it looks.
This is lick the plate brilliant. I'm not kidding. Lick the plate brilliant. I mean, the false meat inside that leg is just stunning. It tastes like a really good spicy sausage. The pheasant meat is buttery and soft. There are little flavour treats and surprises ever. Creamy celeriac. Beautiful. Really, really, really impressed.
I think it's really very, very good indeed. The detail in here is great. You poach the leg first with the force meat and then you fry it off so it's crispy on the outside. You've got really sophisticated notes through the cabbage with the chestnuts. It's a really, really good thing.
I put myself under massive pressure going into that cook today. I really felt it when I was in there as well, so to come out with that kind of reaction, and it's just, what a relief, it was fantastic.
Inspired by her mum's roast chicken, Emma has made Baharat spiced poussin on a bed of freekeh grain, chickpeas and pomegranate, with char-grilled courgette, crispy chicken skin and a chicken gravy.
Ooh. Sweet, sharp, sour, salty, rich, and really, really tasty. Really, really tasty. I would polish off the whole lot. The spice on the skin is fantastic. Your gravy is lovely and rich. The thing is, we've got a couple of issues with sophistication, and I think that's the issue for me. At this stage of the competition, I'd like to see it just pulled apart a little bit. Show it off, because it's delicious. The chicken itself is delicious, but it just needs to be polished a bit.
OK.
It's good. Your food's always been good. We need you need to get to brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you look at Simon playing your plates. They're very clean, very beautifully shaped. Mine's just not, you know.
It's not your style.
I gotta work on it.
Can't wait. Feel for it.
Pete's dish is in honour of his pastry chef grandfather, a custard and apple tart with Calvados cream and caramel glazed apple spheres, served with a salted caramel and tobacco ice cream.
Hasn't gone to plan, has it?
No, it was just too loose and it's unfortunately collapsed.
And your ice cream, was that set?
Just about.
So not really?
Not really.
No.
No.
Let's start with the good bits.
OK.
Your ice cream with tobacco and salted caramel is absolutely delicious. It's really clever because you start with salt, then it becomes sweet, and then suddenly you get that lovely smokiness of tobacco in the background. It's a really, really lovely thing. That's the good bit. The tart is a disaster, as you know. I really like your little caramelised bits of apple around the outside of it, but it doesn't really make up for the tart, unfortunately. Your ice cream, however, if you put that in tubs and sell it, I'll buy a couple of those.
OK. Suppose that's some consolation.
That ice cream with the apple combination is perfect. Technically, it's gone wrong.
I'll be going.
No, your ice cream might save you, you never know.
I think just the pressure of where we are in the competition, you know, got to me a little bit.
These two challenges have been massive, absolutely massive. Most chefs would quake at their boots at doing what our five have done.
You and I now have to decide which one's not up to the task. Simon today was exceptional. He was exceptional with Michael Caines. He was the standout contestant. His pheasant today was lovely.
I'm really pleased for Simon because his progression is extraordinary.
Tony's had his ups and downs in the competition, but Tony's dish today shows how good he can be when he's on form.
The thing I have to say about Emma is I want to eat her food. Just needs a bit more finesse. And I got to say that the job she did with Michael Caines was pretty damn good.
I don't know what to make of Paul. He didn't have a very good time working with Michael Caines. His jelly didn't set on his apple dessert. It's mistakes. You really liked Paul's steak, his beef?
For me, the flavours were great, but Paul's dessert with Michael Caines was a real touch-and-go situation. I'm like you, I think he's in the pot.
It's a big day. Somebody's going home, and there are not that many of us left. And so, you know, I by no means feel that I'm home and dry yet.
Pete is an exciting cook. He's a great cook. He didn't have a great round with Michael. He's messed up here today. Is that the end of Pete? Or do we give him another chance?
The odds are stacked against me. It's what happens on the day, isn't it? The pressure gets to you, then it can trip you up.
You've all put so much into this competition, and it's a huge achievement to get this far.
We have to say goodbye to one of you. The person leaving us is Pete.
Well done, guys.
Great competition, mate.
Thank you, mate.
Cheers.
Thanks very much, Pete.
I'm disappointed. Mistakes like that can't be made at this point in the competition. I feel really proud. I'll definitely look back at it fondly. It's been a roller coaster of a ride. It's been incredible.
Congratulations.
It was a great day at the office today. I came through with a good just at the moment when I needed to.
I've got to pinch myself now just to really kind of believe that I'm in the final four of MasterChef.
I feel great now. Another step closer to the final.
I'm absolutely made up. Final four means everything. It's absolutely fantastic.
Next time, the finals continue. And the pressure reaches new heights.
Your pants are burning. There's fire going on here.
Are you going to nick that idea?
It's already in my new book.
But only 3 will make it through.
We made our decision.